Welcome to our cybersecurity briefing. My name is Luis Delgado. I'll be your host today. We got Audrey in the background running the chat and helping us make sure that we don't lose anything, any comments or anything that may be added to this conversation. The purpose of the brief is to give you some updates on what's going on in the cybersecurity world, things that affect your business, things that affect your um, livelihood, and some recent activities, some recent developments, news, tips and tricks, and some easy to use small chewable things that you can add. So let's get started. One of the things that we keep seeing is that everything's changed. The threat landscape has changed significantly in the last 3 to 5 years. Um, Technology continues to evolve, which of course makes it easier for criminals to take advantage of gaps in security. Things are moving fast, so business owners are not reacting as fast. Costs are going up, so there's a lot of things that are happening. So today we're going to talk about what's going on, who's impacted, what's the cost, what can you control, and then some steps that you can take to improve your security posture. My name is Luis Delgado, as I said. I'm the founder of the Critical Update. I'm a board member at local nonprofit. It's an incubator. On the advisory board of the community college, Austin Community College, also at CyberTech's Institute of Technology, and a couple other companies. I've been doing this since 2003, helping business owners, mostly by referral and word of mouth. Um, we're highly relational. We really enjoy watching our customers thrive. We enjoy seeing how the little changes that we put in place impact their livelihood and improve their businesses. We've seen a lot of success, and it's really rewarding to be able to contribute to creating jobs in the Austin area and to watching families thrive because of the opportunities created by our customers. As we see, small businesses are the lifeblood of the company. I mean, of the U.S. And if we don't watch and take care of our small businesses, then we get in trouble really fast. All right, so what's going on? Cybercrime is extremely profitable. It used to be profitable 2 years ago, but now it is exponentially profitable. As you can see in this article that just came out a few days ago, this is one company, one ransomware company. They were able to get $100 million from 60 victims. I mean, if you do the math, that's not a bad business model, correct? Problem is, this is not the only ransomware organization out there. There's thousands of them. We've seen ransomware increase every year, year over year. This year, based on some reports, actually, the attacks have decreased slightly, but they become way more effective. So again, criminals are evolving, their tools are evolving, and we are, as business owners, we're all targets. And if we don't keep evolving with the threat, we're going to be taken out. Identity-related crimes, of course, since everything on the internet is related to identity, it's tied to your identity, passwords, biometrics, everything. If it's transmitted, it can be captured. If it's captured, it can be exploited. We are looking at the trend. Threats will continue to improve. They will continue to increase. As you can see right here, 93% of organizations have experienced 2 or more breaches due to identity-related cyber attacks. This is in 2024. So this is not 10 years ago. This is not 5 years ago. This is not last year. This is this year. So as a business owner, you got to wonder when is it going to hit me, and what am I going to do to get ahead of this problem? That's why we're starting these briefings. We're trying to get ahead of the problem, trying to equip our clients, equip other business owners with tools that they can implement. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that somebody can exploit your business, take advantage of you, your clients, your staff, steal your information. So some common sense things can really go a long way and help you minimize the impact when the attack happens. Types of data that is compromised. Um, this is from a report that just came out by IBM. Customer information is very valuable, obviously. If you're a business owner, you have customer information, right? So you're a repository of a lot of data that criminals can steal and then sell. Employee information, again, social security numbers, identity theft, excellent if you steal employee personal information. Intellectual property, if you work for the government, there are certain regulations that you have to abide by because you have plans, you have information that is non-public information that belongs to either government or agencies or different organizations that have value, right? You think the Chinese, are infiltrating and doing industrial hacks because the data is not valuable, right? Corporate data, of course, and then other type of customer PII. Everything's valuable. Everything can be used against you. Everything can be, especially when you have multiple breaches and you put them all together, and you get that information from the dark web. You can get somebody's health, personal and work information and buy it off the dark web, and you got everything you need to exploit somebody. All right, so the cybersecurity organization, government organization that is tasked with helping business owners and agencies with um, standards and implementation is CISA. CISA has been putting out a lot of content. They have a great website right here, cisa.gov. So you can go there and you can get all kinds of resources, printouts, pamphlets. Of course, you got to understand what it says, but there's a lot of valuable information that you can use to implement and protect your business. They have been continuously saying that services are being disrupted. We hear about the water companies getting breached. Electric, we keep hearing the electric grid is in danger. Um, there was an oil pipeline that got breached. It was massive. This was a couple of years ago. So there's lots of hacks that are happening. A lot of them are unreported, but what is reported is staggering. So if you think maybe 1 out of 100 actually get reported, even though it's illegal not to report it, we're seeing a massive increase in hacks. So again, you can do some things to make it less appealing for a criminal to be a target, and there's tons of resources at the federal level, at the local level, with an IT company like ours that can help you and train your staff. All right, so who's impacted? SMBs, small businesses, of course. Why? Because that's where the money is, right? Also, nonprofits. Nonprofits have lots of really valuable data, and they're known for having difficult with budgets, right? So we've actually worked with some nonprofits that asked us for help, and when we're talking to them, we see that there's really no resources to put in place to really secure the environment fully. So what we do is we create a roadmap, and they go out and they find funding, because there's organizations that will actually help provide funding to secure these organizations, and then with that roadmap we start implementing the most important things like security awareness training, um, zero trust networking, that kind of thing. And every organization has to be flexible, and every organization has to adapt. There's no way around it. We have to. So again, resources are important, and not ignoring the threat is extremely important. That's another thing that we run into, and it breaks my heart really, because we'll talk to somebody and show them, this is what's going on. We're trying to get ahead of it. We're trying to be a resource, and then they say, oh no, I'm not worried about it. And then we find out that they were breached, and we actually have a client that got referred to us. They were breached, $300,000 gone. We talked to the FBI. No, there's no recourse. We couldn't find anything. The FBI couldn't find anything. We couldn't do anything, and that business is no longer here. So 7 people lost their jobs because hackers got the best of them. All right, so as we heard, we saw the graph before, personal breaches are among the most expensive types of breaches because if you're, say, a chiropractor, you got thousands of records, right? And they're valuable. Medical records are very valuable. So you can see, especially when you get breached, the customers are going to come after you, the feds are going to come after you, the state may come after you. So you have multiple angles that are going to come against you, which require significant amounts of resources to remediate and then to defend yourself legally. So we're not just thinking about what the data breach could do, is what the data breach can do and what happens before and after the data breach. Right now, there's a lot of class action lawsuits happening, which, I mean, you can see why. You got all these companies that are being breached and records being exposed. In fact, I just got a postcard for a CPA firm that I used to use years ago. I haven't worked with them for years. They got breached. I got a letter in December last year. They got breached, and now there's a class action lawsuit. They actually compromised some of the data for my company. Fortunately, not on my employee information, but still. Um, so we got to think about all these things that we didn't have to think about, 5, 10 years ago. All right. So of course, when you get breached and you got to notify, customers lose trust, right? Why wouldn't they? Um, Employees leave. Yeah, sometimes you got to lay people off, and some people, like I said, the customer that we try to work with, they shut down their doors, so 6 people gone plus the owner. Of course, loss of revenue plus the revenue, the money that it takes to remediate. It's extremely expensive. Some people say the average is about $8 million. We've seen different ranges. I mean, for example, if you're a small firm, there was a prosthetics company that we work with. Well, we were trying to work with them. Um, we did an assessment and we showed them what they needed to do, and they said that they couldn't do it. And again, not even 2 weeks later, we got a call and said, we're being ransomed for $10,000. We don't have it. Well, I mean, how many businesses can handle a $10,000 hit? How many businesses can handle a $3,000 hit? And then how many businesses can handle a $3,000 hit by the hackers, and then all the legal fees that come with the remediation and the lawsuit afterwards, right? I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to make you aware. Um, we have to be aware that these things are happening right now. There's actually a case. There's a lawsuit that is happening for a medical provider. They got breached. Pictures of the patients were compromised. They didn't pay the ransom, which you would think is a good thing. Well, now there's a class action lawsuit suing them. The patients are suing them because they didn't pay the ransom. So, I mean, things are getting pretty crazy out there. All right. As far as cost, this is what your record cost would be. So if somebody steals customer information, they can sell for $179, one record. Think about how many customers you have. If you got 100 customers, that's about how much it would be worth, right? Times 100, if somebody were to steal it. Now, quick point here that a lot of people in Texas don't know. If you have over 250 customers and you get breached, you have to report that to the state. A lot of people don't do it. A lot of people know about it. There's consequences. The FTC safeguard rules are in force, and they have some significant fees and fines if you don't comply with it. Now, the IRS also has safeguarding rules. So you're getting hit from all sides. And again, we're trying to get you to understand what is happening so you can do something about it and not just be taken out by either the feds or the state or the criminal or a lawsuit. So what can you do? This is actually a slide from the nonprofit specific brief that we gave last week. This applies to everybody, not just nonprofits. But you wanna create a culture of cybersecurity within your company. You want to find a provider, an IT provider that understands business, not just technology. There's a lot of great IT companies, and we know a lot of them. We actually collaborate with a lot of them because we'll lose a client to them, they'll lose a client to us, so we got to work together. But there's a lot of companies out there that are started by engineers, obviously, but they don't think like a business person. So you have the engineers that have very rigid structures a lot of times that just don't work with the workflows of the customers, right? So there's a give and take. You got to find a company that works with you, that understands your business and can help you secure it without affecting your workflows, improving your workflows. We have a client that we started working with 3 years ago, and they had um, about 30 employees at the time, and it was a mess. There was licensing issues. There were a lot of inefficiencies, and the owner was really smart and brought us in and let us implement some tools and some strategies to clean up the flow. And within 3 years, now they've been acquired by corporate. They doubled in size, more than doubled in size as far as employee count, and the revenues went way up. Now, was it just because of IT? No, they're great business people, but IT played a huge role, and you can see the trend. As soon as we were able to implement our tools, the company was able to grow, and now he's actually retired and giving back to the community. So it's a good thing. All right. So it's important for you to find an organization, an IT company that can partner with you and understand your business. It's also important that you use this resource not as a commodity, right? The best clients that we have are clients that we collaborate with, clients that we talk to each other frequently. We if they're thinking about implementing something, they ping us, and then we check what they're trying to do, see if it makes sense, and then we help them implement it if it makes sense. So we there's a lot of work back and forth. You want to make sure that you have that. All right, on the practical level, the things that you want to know, step one is, where is your data? Where does your data live? Who has access to it? And how is it protected? One of the things that I normally ask small business owners or the tiny little 1-2 person companies, I say, okay, if I go into your office, I take your computer and I throw it in the lake, are you out of business? And people think about it for a couple of seconds. They go, yeah. Or some of them say, well, I have backups. I say, great. When's the last time you checked your backups? Well, we get a daily email that says that they were successful. She had an attorney, a solo attorney, and she showed me every day she was getting notices that the backups were working. Well, I opened one of those emails and it said 0 bytes. So the backups were working, but she was backing up nothing. So if her hard drive failed, everything was gone. Those are the things that we ask people. Very first thing: where's your data? Where does it live? Who has access to it? How do you protect it? How do you restore it if you need to? Another thing that you really need to be doing is cybersecurity risk assessments. Some people do them every 6 months. Some people, at a minimum, you want to do them once a year. If you have a cyber insurance policy, check your policy, because I pretty much guarantee you need to have one every year, because that not only helps with your premiums, but it also helps the insurance company lower their risk. So make sure that you're complying with that, because otherwise you're going to get breached. They're going to ask you for your assessment. They're going to ask you for your paperwork, your documentation. You're going to say, well, I didn't know. And they're going to say, well, it's in your contract. And they're going to deny your claim. Then they're going to cancel you or not renew you. So make sure that you have those things. Document your network. Also extremely important to know, what systems you're using, what models you're using, who's using what, making sure that your staff knows if they bring their own device, what are they supposed to do? What do they have access to? How do you control the access to those things? All that. The biggest bang for your buck is security awareness training. For as little as $50 a month, you can train 20 people continuously on security awareness, tips and tricks, things that they're going to see. How do you recognize a phishing email? What is vishing? What is quishing now, which is a QR code phishing exploit. So security awareness training is huge. If you don't have the funds to implement a full-blown cybersecurity plan, cybersecurity awareness training and documentation are the very first things that I would say. That's where you can start, and it'll have a significant impact moving the needle. Okay, so we want you to use your money wisely. We don't want you to chase the next shiny object. We want you to really be wise with your money, because again, costs are going up, labor is going up, tools are getting more expensive because they're getting more sophisticated. So we have to evolve with it, and part of that is making sure that we're using our dollars wisely. All right, so you want to adhere, you want to find a standard that applies to your company, and then develop a roadmap to implement the steps to comply with that. Um, so the NIST, this is National Institute of Standards and Technology. This agency develops frameworks that we can implement. They apply to pretty much everybody. I don't care how small or how big you are. If you follow these steps, then you will have a good plan to protect yourself from the threats that are coming in. And then also, of course, you identify the threats, you protect from the threats, you detect the threats, you respond to the threats, and you recover from the threats. If you do all these, then you're set. All right. So what do we recommend you do next? Of course, do your research, uh, see if you have any gaps. In order to find your gaps, you need a risk assessment. We do those. If you go to our website, thecriticalupdate.com, go to our contact us form, and use code Monday, we'll give you a free risk assessment. This is an assessment where we'll run tools that simulate a hack. We'll find the gaps. We'll find what a hacker would actively exploit. For example, the last 6 that we've done, every single one of them, I got passwords. We got tax documents. We got W-2s. We got social security numbers. We got passwords. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. We got passwords. We even got data that the client thought was encrypted. So you wanna make sure that that you're protecting yourself, um, and visibility is what really helps you get there. You just notice that I'm covering the code. There you go. That way you can scan that code if you need to. So if you do that, go to our website, fill out the contact us form, use code Monday. We'll give you a free assessment. And then if you're ready to schedule one assessment, then you can set up an appointment on my calendar, and we'll be happy to assist you in any way we can. If you just have questions, again, you can go to the website, contact us, and or on LinkedIn, send me a message. We're all over the place, so um, you can use us as a resource. If we do business, great. If we don't do business, great. We just want to be a resource. We want to get ahead of the problem. We want to help you understand what's going on and make sure that you can thrive and not be taken out by the hackers that are getting better. So with that, I conclude this brief, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.